Hello everyone. Today we'll be going into section 2 of chapter 11, which is going to be over area of circles and sectors. So first, when we're finding the area of a circle, which you probably remember, that's just going to be pi r squared, where r is the radius of the circle. So in these two problems, we're going to find the indicated measure and provide our answers in terms of pi and rounded to the nearest hundredth. So it's going to be really similar to those problems that we did yesterday. So for this first one, it asks us to find the radius of a circle with an area of 100 pi square miles. Well, I know that the formula for this is that my area is equal to pi r squared. And I'm told that my area is 100 pi. So I'm going to plug that in for A here. And my goal here is I want to find my radius. So I need to get r by itself. Right now there's a pi with it, so I need to divide that out from both sides. And something I notice is right here I have pi on top and bottom, so that means they cancel each other out. So now I have that 100 is equal to r squared. And then to get rid of that square, I'm just going to take the square root on both sides. And so my answer here is that my r is equal to 10 miles. Okay, next one says I want to find the diameter of a circle with an area of 42 square meters. So plugging in what I know my area, that's 42. So I have 42 is equal to pi r squared. Next, I want to do the same thing. I want to divide both sides by pi. And then to get rid of my square, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And then when you put that in your calculator, you should get that r is approximately, which is what those squiggles mean, 3.66. However, I'm not done here. The question wasn't asking for my radius, it was asking for my diameter. Well, I know that the diameter is just going to be twice my radius. So that means that d is going to equal to 2 times 3.66, which comes out to 7.32 meters. Okay, now for this next one, it says that the sector of a circle is the region bounded by two radii of the circle and their intercepted arc. So in this picture, a sector would be what's in orange right here. Not purple. It's that kind of slice that you see that's between the two radii, and then there's the intercepted arc. And so we get this ratio. And it says that the ratio of the area of a sector of a circle to the area of the whole circle is equal to the ratio of the measure of the intercepted arc to 360 degrees. So what this is really saying is that area of that slice over the area of the whole is equal to the measure of that arc of that slice over 360, which is what the circle has. So this is really similar to what we did yesterday. Instead of yesterday, we had the length of that arc over the circumference. Now we're just dealing with area. And then just like before, you can multiply this top by pi r squared to get this bottom equation. Okay, so now we're going to use that to find the indicated measure. So first I want to find the area of the sector UTV. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and use this bottom one, and that tells me that the area is equal to, in this case, the measure of arc UV over 360 times pi r squared. Well, I know that the measure of this arc UV, that's just going to be 70, and we learned that last time, or in our last chapter. And then my radius here is given as 8. Well, I can go ahead and reduce this fraction. I see that 10 goes into both, and that's because they both end with 0. So that's really 7 over 36 times 8 squared is 64, so I get 64 pi. And then now I can multiply across on these, because this is really just over 1. And so when I multiply those together, I get 448 pi over 36. And then when you put that in your calculator, you should get 39.1 inches squared. So that's one way you can go about this problem. Another way is to go ahead and use that proportion, so that top part, and go through your cross multiplication and everything. So let's go ahead and try it that way for this one. So I know my area of the red sector, let's just call that x, it's going to be on top here, over the area of the whole circle, so pi r squared, which my radius here is 14. And it's going to equal to the measure of that arc. So here, that's going to be 120 over 360. So it's just like this top one, but instead I want to have the area underneath what I'm finding. So again, I can go ahead and simplify this first. So 14 squared, that's 196. And then this actually reduces really nicely. This comes out to being 1/3. And then from here, I'm going to cross multiply. So x times 3, I get 3x. And when I cross there, I get 196 pi. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And so I get that my area is equal to 205.3 feet squared. Okay, now what if I asked you to find the area of the blue sector? We're still going to go through that same process, and it's going to look very similar to what we just did in terms of our numbers. But now I need to figure out what this angle measure is. Well, I know the whole circle is 360. I know this part is 120. So 360 minus 120 will get me 240. And I want to go through this in time instead without simplifying my fractions, because it still works that way. So I want to go straight to cross multiplying. So I get 360x is equal to, and when I do 14 squared, that's 196. 196 times 240 is 47,040 pi. And I'm going to divide both sides by 360. And so when you put that in your calculator, you should get that the area of the blue sector is 410.5 feet squared. So the only difference here when you don't simplify is that you just end up with bigger numbers, but that's okay. You're still going to get the same answer at the end. And that's it for today. Your homework is on big ideas.